everybody. My name is Dianne Linderman, and this is my podcast, Everything That Matters. And I was a syndicated radio talk show host for about 15 years and took a few years off, like 10. And so I decided to start this back up. And today I have a very special guest. You may have heard of her. I was in Cracker Barrel the other day, and her song came over. And I'm like, oh my God, I know that woman. So, Clare Dunn.
Hello.
Clare is an interesting person because not only is she an amazing artist and songwriter, and I'm going to promo this, she's written 2 songs for my son's show called American Pioneer, which is going to come out, and y'all are going to have to watch it.
Yes.
But the songs made me cry.
Oh,
They did.
thank you.
She kind of put us in those songs a little bit.
Yep.
And I identified. So I hope that you identify too. But the other thing that's so interesting about the fact that she's not only an amazing songwriter, but she is all about ag and trying to keep our farms and ranches alive and booming in our country. So first of all, I want to take you over here and we're going to talk about your amazing songwriting adventures and your music and fact that she's everywhere. Just, you got to go to her website, and I'm going to let you promo all that.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show, Diane.
You're fun.
It's an honor to be here.
We've
We've been a little silly.
Yes, indeed.
So if you want to follow me for more, you can go to claredunn.com. Clare is spelled a little differently, ClareDunn. And then I'm on all social media platforms at Clare Dunn Music. And I grew up on a farm and ranch in the kind of the Dust Bowl area, southeast Colorado. And the short version is I moved to Nashville and went to college, started interning for publishers on Music Row, got my first deal as a songwriter before I graduated.
Yes.
And I started writing songs professionally on Music Row for years and years and started getting some cuts and started getting some traction. One thing you don't even know about me, Diane, is I wrote a #1 rap song, which I will never disclose what that song is. But a #1's a #1.
That is cool.
So
I'm even more impressed. I don't think I could get more impressed.
I forgot about it till the other day. And then I was like, I forgot about
it.
Well,
That's amazing.
The music industry will do that to you.
Yeah.
Gives you temporary amnesia, trauma amnesia. But so I started writing songs and then started going out on the road in a pickup and trailer in my F-150 and then got a lot of momentum going and signed a big old record deal and then realized that I was in artist jail and finally got out of that. And, I'm living the good life now.
So you're an independent now.
I am, thankfully so.
Yes, and that's actually... my podcast is going to be try to inspire you to be independent and to learn about everything that matters because you can not only be independent artist, she's earned her way there though through very painful times working with so-called professionals. And I know the story and if she wants to share it, I'd love it, but could be made a movie about you, to be honest with you. And the truth is that people don't realize that none of us are locked into the thing that we think we have to have professionals helping us. Because here's a little thought for you, Clare, and that is that, when I was in school, I quit school when I was 16 because I saw at a very young age that they want to keep you. They don't want to teach you how to be a business person or an entrepreneur. They want to make you feel like you have to get a job. Yeah. And so they don't even prepare you for that, but they don't ever prepare you how to be in your own business. And the entire country is in the engine of this country are small businesses. You're considered a small business, but actually you're pretty big because you've been out there. Well, I mean, I heard you at a trade show for our industry, the fairs and rodeo industry, and I was like, I was in the audience going, she's amazing. I mean, you got to hear her music, but she knows how to take a story and create just amazing music around it. And that's what I think songwriting is all about. And
it is.
It is. And so but the neat thing is all your experiences on your ranch, and in your travels, that pain and hard physical work and learning how to do whatever it takes to survive is why your songs are so amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. And so,
Thanks.
so you became an independent and now you have your own label?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I own my own masters, which
Yeah.
means I own my music now,
That is so great.
which is really important. And no one, just even kind of talking to what you just spoke about, like in school, they don't prepare you to be an entrepreneur. And I went to a great music school, and I was a songwriting major there. And, I probably didn't take some of the classes where maybe this was taught, but no one ever really prepares you for the fact that you can do this as an independent artist. And I think the worst thing I ever did for my career was sign a huge record deal. But it comes with all the bells and whistles. You're told that that's the goal. You're told that that's the milestone, and that these people could take your career to the next level. And you never are told about the fact that, well, sometimes they sign artists to take you off the market. And it's a very competitive, it's not a conspiracy. It's just a fact. There's a lot of artists out there that have, if you notice, we don't have a lot of changeover, especially in country music. We kind of have the same 10, we have our legacy artists, which is a different thing. But then as far as our new legacy artists, I guess, it's kind of the same 10 or 15. There's been a few breakthrough here and there, and it's starting, that gap is starting to widen, but there's so much centralization in music and control. And it's the same in agriculture. So I've kind of lived that life where I'm like, great control, centralized corporate control everywhere. So,
well, everything is in control. In the last, 50 years, we've kind of just sat here and let it happen.
yeah.
But I think nowadays there's so many people waking up that are aware and don't want to be involved. Like, people are taking their kids out of school and homeschooling them now. My kids, I couldn't even keep them in school. It was too boring for them. So we had to take them home and let them figure out what they were going to do. And my daughter's an amazing artist, which is some of the art back here.
Yes.
And my son is an amazing movie maker, which we're going to actually be putting out that series. But gosh, you gave me a new idea.
Oh,
I want to help you with your label. And we're going to how about if we find some other people that we could
game on, Dianne.
bring it in, because all these people are just like you. A lot of very talented people I've met in my life, because I'm in the fair, rodeo, and event industry.
Right.
They all are suffering from the same thing.
Yeah.
So why don't we help set them free?
Let's do it, Dianne.
Aha! I am a serial entrepreneur, so
Deal.
just be aware.
I love it.
But that's really fascinating. And if you look at all the places you go, if you go to your website and your where you can be found, every day I get she's here, she's gonna be here, she's gonna be here. I go, that is so impressive that you will just do it yourself. You're all by yourself. You do it yourself. You don't even have a manager, but I think you need an assistant.
I do.
You really do.
I could use 2 assistants.
I know. I could use like 7, but I got one cleaning my house and one making dinner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But no, but it's so interesting meeting people like you. Sorry, I was about to call you my daughter-in-law.
That's okay.
Claire.
That's a compliment.
Yeah. If I had another son, I would definitely.
No, I just meant I love Faith. That's all I meant.
If I had another son, though, I would set you up. She's actually a very down-to-earth person. She went out to this store where they had used clothing. She just got herself a new outfit and is over there pulling apart the stitches. I mean, come on, people.
You
got to
do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, but that is who you are. You've just figured it all out. And
yeah, I think that was, one of the things that made my career take off the way it did before I signed my record deal is because I came from a farm and ranch where you have to be independent. You have to be self-sufficient. And my parents, that's one of the greatest gifts among many that I got from them. But I didn't realize growing up just how valuable that ability to be independent was. It's not an attitude. No. It's a skill set. It's the understanding of knowing within yourself that you may not have the answers all the time, but you know that you can persevere. And you know that if you keep going, you're going to find the solution. You're going to make it work. And all the times that, my sister and I have a sister, and she and I were, 120 miles apart or alone on a piece of equipment, and something broke down, or cattle, something happened with a calf that needed tending to, and we could figure that out. And I think that was also one of the things that was such a shock when I was at this high level in the music business, is they the corporations that I was in,
Yes.
they don't want independent thinkers. They want artists who are yes man and yes girls. They want you to wear what they want you to wear. They want you to sing what they want you to sing. They want you to behave the way they want you to behave. And, that's why like my heroes like Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson, they were so ostracized. I mean, they're now loved by Nashville, but at the time, Nashville hated them. They loved Porter Wagner and all these other cats. And, the rebels like Waylon and Willie, they were all outcasts because they wanted to sing their own songs. They just wanted to be who they were, and that doesn't fit in this corporate mold. And we're starting to see that, like, all the people that used to work at the label where I was, they're all basically fired now. Can't imagine why.
Serves them right now.
But it's really
Yeah.
that was an eye-opening thing to
Yeah.
experience. And if you're like that, I would just highly encourage you to stay independent, because this is the best time
Absolutely.
to be an independent anything.
Absolutely. I love that. That is good advice for everything.
Sure.
And people used to say to me, because, I quit school when I was 16, and people were like, you're never going to make it. And I'm like, oh, yeah?
That's
Whenever
right.
anybody tells you that, guess what? It means you're going to make it.
That's right.
And I started cooking shows when I was 55, and I'm an old woman now. But some of the fair managers were like, aren't you a little old to start cooking shows? And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
So I've got
Screw
this
that.
beautiful car next to me. I don't know if you can see it, but it is a stage that my husband built, and he's a classic car builder. And I said, I'm not only going to go in, but I'm going in with just like amazing punch and the very people that said that to me ended up being the first people to hire me.
Wow.
So it's all a lie.
It is.
That's what it comes down to, is that they would love to keep somebody like you. There's a lot of us out there. That's what I love. And that's the appeal to, I always tell people, if you don't like what I talk about, don't listen. Because I'm only in here to encourage you to, if you've got a talent or skill or you want to develop one, figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the doubters,
Right.
because the doubters don't want you to be better than them.
That's right.
And it may take you a little bit longer, but once you're there, you're solid,
Absolutely. And you can't, no amount of money can buy the way you can sleep at night knowing that it can't be taken from you.
Absolutely.
When someone else gives it to you, someone else can take it from you. And
Absolutely.
and that's a thing that is also not taught to, generations coming up. They just think that, well, that's what they have to have is things given to them, or, they have to have people in control telling them, yes, you can do that. It's
You know where that's taught, right?
why?
You know why?
No.
Where it's taught?
Oh, yeah.
School.
Yeah.
The first thing you do is you take these little wild 5-year-olds and you tell them, you can't get up to go to the bathroom unless you ask permission. And the next thing they do, they really start training you to look at teachers as authority, people as authority. I only got one authority. He's with me all the time. And my dad, thank God, he was there to, acknowledge and to keep me from doubting that as a young person. So at 16, I was a wild child. Not wild child like a lot of people. I was out starting businesses, buying and selling classic cars. I just knew that I could do anything and make money. And I had horses I bought and sold. And the truth is that if those people can get to you and make you doubt who you are, you're just going to fall in line with other people, and you're never going to make it on your own.
Yeah.
This is impressive because you had to suffer to find out. And if you could teach other people that they don't have to suffer, just stay independent. Your advice was awesome.
Well, thanks.
So then you take your skill set of being able to communicate, because you're a very good communicator. I think she should literally have her own podcast, but she kind of probably does a little bit. She just doesn't know it, because I've seen some of her videos.
Oh.
But then she went to the ranching world, where they're doing the same exact thing in the ranching world, aren't they? They're trying to take away our farms and our ranches, and they're trying to make us, like, literally get us out of the business so that everything can be controlled, the meat, the food. And there's so many people buying ranches and farms in Texas where we are.
Yeah.
The land of the free.
Yep.
And it's so neat, because that's what we do. We didn't really plan on having cows, and we do petting farms. That's what I do. That's what my husband and my family's done for 43 years. We just became number one at it because we love what we do, and we love kids. And my whole life was food, kids, teaching people how to cook, and having kids around and animals.
Yeah.
And so if you can take anything you love in life and make a living at it,
Yeah.
that's my whole theme of everything I talk about.
Right.
And she loves singing and songwriting, and that's what she's done. But then you took it to the next level now, and now you're talking about agriculture.
Yeah.
So fascinating.
Growing up on a farm and ranch, a real working farm and ranch,
Yes.
nothing against having town jobs, which unfortunately most farmers have to have someone in the family having a town job so that they can afford to farm.
Yeah, I know.
Not because the farmer is inefficient or lazy or any fault of their own, but because the system is so upside down. And it's gotten upside down in the past 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. Our politicians go to Washington and they're lobbied and they make these terrible deals with these huge corporations. Basically, I mean, for sure, all of our meat processing, pork, chicken, beef is all controlled by 3 major companies in this country. And if you want to zoom out, probably all of our agricultural products, our wheat, our crops, are ultimately controlled by about a half dozen corporations. And in the meat packing industry alone, and this
Chinese.
is, oh yes. And they're buying our land, but what most Americans don't realize is they've already bought our markets and our politicians have allowed it. And what I mean by that is in the meat industry, and these are consequences for not only farmers and ranchers, these policies and this corporate consolidation is not only putting our farmers and ranchers out of business, but it's detrimental to every American person because they own our food supply. And
Frightening.
here's one company, for example, one of the big 3 meat packers is completely owned by a set of Brazilian brothers who have been charged and found guilty and served prison time for bribing over 3,000 government officials. And they got out on early release, by some loophole with their lawyers. But these are the kinds of thugs that own our food. And one of my goals is to get this message out and hopefully in front of this administration to bust up these corporate corrupt companies and put our food supply back where it should be in the hands of every American. If you take this one company in general that makes billions of dollars in profit every year, if you spread that profit, that money out over thousands and hundreds of thousands of American-owned businesses, if we could bust up these packers, we could have a meat packing facility, family owned in dang near every
They're starting
county.
here in Texas, by the way.
Yes.
They are starting to put these family for only family owned.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really great. I love it.
And one thing about the family owned packing plants that are starting to happen now is that they suffer under far more regulation than the giant beef packers. So that's one thing we got to get reversed as well.
I think we probably have the right people in power we just need to get you out there. So if anybody would like to interview her, she's a wealth of information on this subject and many others.
Thanks.
And I'm a wealth of information on cooking.
That's right.
And entrepreneurship. So
Which is food supply.
Yeah, which is food supply.
That's right.
But I like to encourage people to come. I mean, in Texas, you can't find a 100-acre parcel right now for sale. They're being bought up like crazy.
Yeah.
And they're being bought up by regular people that have never had a ranch or a farm.
Good.
Which brings what we do in my company, in our family business that we have, is that we started a place where you do retreats and workshops on homesteading.
Wow.
It's called AmericanPioneer.com. And we're going to teach you how to milk a goat, make cheese, make anything. AmericanPioneerRanch.com. So you make sure you go check that out and also keep an eye out for the movie that my son is putting together called AmericanPioneer.tv. And there's a trailer up there. It'll make you cry.
Yes.
Because it's pretty awesome. And her music is on it, which is a very huge honor. It made me cry. One of your songs especially.
Well, thanks.
Was the one about me. No.
Really? I mean, we have so many unsung American pioneers in our society these days. And right now, our society has gotten over the past decade or more, so focused on this celebrity through social media. And while that's great to have a following, you have people like the Kardashians out there setting our pop culture and
Big butt ladies.
giving an example of what we should be. And that's not what we should be. We should be aspiring to be like the unsung American pioneers.
Absolutely.
Like you guys and like millions of Americans who get up every day, put their boots on and go to work after and go chase a dream. And here's one thing too I just wanted to mention. I'm so glad that people are moving into Texas and buying ag land, because in Oklahoma, because farming and ranching has gotten so ridiculous, people are selling land, and the Chinese now own over 280,000 acres in the great state of Oklahoma. And
they're going to control it.
Yeah.
They're going to control our food. I mean, come on, people.
Mm-hmm.
This is what America is all about, is owning a little piece of land, enough to even feed your own family. That doesn't take very much. That is actually some containers outside your apartment door.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is that I did my radio show for many years, and people would call up and complain their kids were getting picked on in school and blah, 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 because they were super wholesome kids. And I'm like, move. What are we waiting for? Get the hell out of those cities.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your kids out. Even if you can't afford something, rent something. If you can't do that, work for somebody that you can. I mean, there's so many ways. I'm sorry, I will not take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be able to figure it out. I know that I would. My kids are the most important thing. When Dave and I, we did everything that was about our kids.
Mm-hmm.
We made sure that we had businesses that could participate in. And, there's so many things you can do to be independent. And if you're a talented singer or, musician or artist, there is a huge world out there. And there's people willing to pay. She works her butt off. She does. I watch you. I'm not stupid. I know these things. And I know what that is to be like that. And, and the truth is that it is so important. Like, for instance, in COVID, I just like to tell the story because I'm not sure how many people have heard it. We have this ranch, and that's where we put all of our petting zoo and petting pony ride animals. And we had 12 people that we raised as troubled teenagers. My husband and I, we turned them into partners now in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. They have kids, and we have to feed them all. When COVID hit, everything got in our industry shut down completely. Mm-hmm. So we opened a restaurant on our ranch. And it just shows you that if whatever you've been good at in your life, you can turn it into a business.
Yeah.
And so what we did is we went in there and we opened this amazing restaurant, and it was packed every day. Mm-hmm. And then we opened up a whole fairgrounds because we have 12 attractions.
Wow.
And, it's like you have the ability, you just don't know you do.
Yeah.
And but I think what you're doing with the whole exposing what's happening in our country, there's more and more of us out there.
Thanks.
And I think you are a great spokesperson. I want to get you out there more.
Thank you.
And so give your website again, too.
So you can,
or wherever to go see you.
Yes. You can find all my tour dates at claredunn.com. Click shows. And then you can follow me on social media at Clare Dunn Music. And I'm posting all the time. I'm, spreading the word. And follow me for more. Buy a ticket to a show. And I'll keep spreading the word about agriculture.
Yeah, and you guys will have to continue watching my podcasts, Everything That Matters, because I only talk about things that matter to me and to you too.
Yeah.
And, and I have these cookbooks, by the way. I'm going to be a shameless promoter. These are my cookbooks, and these are all super simple recipes. And you can go to my website, DianneLinderman.com, and you can buy those there. You go to Amazon, just put my name in, Dianne Linderman. This is my newest one. I'm proud of this one.
Oh, yeah. I love
Texas cookbook. When I lived in Oregon, I did chick food. So that would be all kinds of salads and salmon. But when you live in Texas, chicken fried steak, honey. But I show you how to make healthy mashed potatoes. And you see these beautiful women walking around Texas.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, beautiful. Mm-hmm. With holsters. They're all blinged.
That's
And I had to pull over one time and ask a lady, how do you stay so slim eating that? Because she was eating this chicken fried steak, literally this big, and mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I work my ass off.
That's right.
Like, there you go.
That's right.
Also,
Amen.
I have a whole series of kids' books called How to Become an Entrepreneurial Kid. This is my workbook, but these are little inspiring stories that are true. I had a cookie business. My brother had a fishing business, and I had a pony ride business. And these are really beautiful. And if you want to look at how beautiful the artwork is inside, I don't even know if I can do this properly, but I'm promoting myself because I'm independent. This is where I learned, don't ever wait in line to publish a book.
That's right.
I went out and I studied what Perfect Bound is, and I look at all the top selling books out there and I go, I could do that. People, don't be afraid.
Amen.
Don't be afraid. It's all for the taking. It's all for you. And guess what? You don't have to be corrupted by the world to perform like a monkey. You just have to know what you love. You do what you love every day of your life. People start to recognize this. We've been doing this for 43 years, everything. And my amazing partners and my husband and my kids, they do what they do best. We're all business partners, and my husband's a builder, and he built this car for me. I don't know if you can see it, but this is so cool.
It is.
It's so
gorgeous.
cool, and
I love
it
that.
separates us from everything. And another thing, just a little bit of a tidbit: do it better than anybody. Don't ever do a half-assed job. I had one guy working for me one time, and he said to me, "Well, if you're only going to pay me $10 an hour, then I'm only going to do a $10 an hour job. But if you pay me $20 an hour," and I go, "You're going to get nothing from me. I'm not hiring you." Because what I see in people is that if you put everything into what you do in life, people recognize that you're not there for the job. You're there for the experience. And one day you end up being the boss.
That's right.
And so thank you, Claire.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you're an
I love
interesting
this.
lady. I just can't wait to see your podcast, and I'll come down to
Okay.
Nashville. But
You'll be
I'm
on
trying to
that.
get her to move to Texas.
Boy, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, she just said the tornadoes scare her, though, but that keeps all the liberals out now.
Well, true. I mean, I grew up in Tornado Alley.
That's true.
I guess I wouldn't be,
Yeah.
I'm not too much on copperheads, but
Okay, well, copperheads are everywhere, but
Yeah, we'll
we'll
have
go
to figure
shoot
that
it
out.
for you. We are Texans. We do things like that. You don't want to walk through a whole
Amen.
nest of copperheads.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening. My name is Dianne Linderman, and this is Everything That Matters. Make sure you go to my website, DianneLinderman.com. There's 400 old shows of mine, and they actually sound like I'm today. I'm the same story over and over. But thank you for listening.
She's the queen.